Well, actually, for us, actually, it's not so much elevation. We talk about eradication. We have seen across the world that poverty can be eradicated. Many, I know myself, many people, many societies, and many countries in China, in India, in Vietnam, everywhere we have been able to see when the situations are right, when the work is done well, poverty can be eradicated. Particularly absolute poverty can be eradicated. So we do believe in poverty can be eradicated. Of course, there are constant forces that also continue to seem to be creating poverty, and they are, most of them are man-made. Um, Yeah, I mean, the system suffers from overproduction. Yeah, I mean, I think the economists would say that one of the problem with that is it suffers from overproduction. It needs to constantly find market and constantly want to grow at a pace which probably is unsustainable, and not unsustainable only in economic and financial term, but look at the earth and the environment and in the planet. Sure. So I think, first of all, to make sure that the model and the system or even the ideology doesn't allow an ever expanding production at the perils of the producers themselves eventually. So I do believe that protection is or regulation and protection is difficult, and it needs to be assisted, and that's why I believe in the layers of production. So when a Thai society decides that, look, I mean, we want to first of all have a call on the vegetables and the rice that we grow, and then we will sell the surplus, rather than opening it in such a way that actually everything is taken out of here and brought to us something different. It doesn't work. So I think it's similarly countries can be protected. So I do believe in regional integration. So when Africa Union or Western Africa or ASEAN or Mercosur country in Latin America decide that they want to have a cascaded production, so that it doesn't go always from one direction only. Yes. So there are mechanisms that can be done. So the countries can be certainly but they need to be protected by a mechanism that is, in case of protecting a community, we need to have the state providing that, empowering them, allowing them. Communities should also have their own sovereignty just as much as the nation, and obviously making sure that there are regional integrations allows us to protect from a very sort of unchecked, unfettered international invasion. Well, in as much as science has been so monopolized by profits and corporations, definitely I think we need to get science back into the society, and we need to democratize science and make it relevant and useful for communities and societies. In that sense, certainly yes, and I think that's my motivation of coming to this conference, is that I understand that much of my work is not really affected by what's happening in the science and technology, partially because they are so inaccessible. Yeah. They are in the hands of people who we have difficulty talking to, or at least we have a problem with. And I want to find out how we can, because I think a lot of development happens without taking advantage of science, and if with the help of science we could do so much more. But to be able to have that science to do much more, we just need a different world order for science. I think it certainly is in the hands of you. Yeah. It needs to be useful for us. It needs to be accessible to people who need at a price that they can afford.
Yes, indeed.